Isn't that good? Hello, everyone. Or whatever. Hi. um, hi, guys. or something. Hello, everyone. This is a Resident Evil 2 remake speedrun of Leon's A scenario on easy mode. Okay. Yeah, I am. Final timer starts now. Alright. So, this whole run in Category was all finally done after so fucking long. And very looking forward to finally get this all done, basically, because this was like, took me like, I don't know, like so much sweat and tears and blood to figure out how I can get this done. Send you.
You alright? Don't move. I'll be back for you.
So we hit all the way back to in the back of the gas station.
Freeze!
Skip around this guy. Put the key in the slot to you. Wait for that guy to go to that position. If you lunge, doesn't matter. He's like far away from us now. You could use the strategy where you could shoot him in his face, but because he's a very fucking bold-punch asshole and likes to move his head so goddamn shakily around, he's just going straight up turbo mode, asshole mode. I don't recommend doing that. It's honestly not worth it.
Attention all citizens.
This is out of control.
Go back. Don't worry about the female zombie. She's just gonna be an idiot and lunge and scream to death. Don't worry about Misty. She's just straight up being an idiot and Misty misses.
It's everybody. They've all turned.
This is played on a PlayStation 4, by the way. As you can just see, the graphics are...
The station.
This is... Okay. My mic, sorry about that. This is like 30 FPS. My PlayStation frame rate is like just basically on the 30 FPS streams a frame. On lower frame rates, enemies are more aggressive. They're very aggressive on lower frame rates.
Hello? Isn't anybody here?
So, right about here, we're gonna pick up that med spray there. I kind of found out there after this run there wasn't a reason to pick up that med spray. Same thing goes for some items I did pick up later, which kind of caused a huge bad total thingy that ran towards my run. But it was still helpful a little bit, but
Open this goddamn door!
I guess is my favorite. But anywho, we're gonna pass around this guy when he passes in through the door. We don't want to get too close or else we'll get stun locked. Just gotta skip by those polygons on the floor. This dodge is outright annoying.
Jesus! They're everywhere!
The female zombie is more likely going to get you, most likely, because the other guy likes to be a dick and likes to straight up be an asshole, and likes the dodges now on lower frame rates. If you're doing dodges on lower frame rates, I doubted that they patched it up. I just basically guessed it was the lower frame rate, but I'm pretty sure that guy's AI now, it's like he basically now is just different out of nowhere. In the past he was not different at all, basically. Now he's just straight up weird and different. Because like there's two dodges now you can make basically this time. This time if you're passing around the female zombie and passing around him, he will, what happens is if the female zombie doesn't come out quicker, then he will come out slower, I think. But here's the thing about the dodge, how this can work in two ways, is that you could pass in front of him, or you can go right behind his armpits. Well, right behind him. Just straight up right behind him. Which sometimes he'll get caught up on his armpit, which causes the female zombie to just, well, she's straight up lunging at you, but he's gonna just lunge. Well, she's usually gonna just grab you in the back if you get stuck on 1 second in the frame at that point. It's annoying. I think it's really dumb sometimes whenever that happens. It's annoying dodge. I give it a lot of credit, but it actually is really a terrible dodge now. Because for some weird reason, I look at a lot of people do that dodge on PC, and I have seen some people do this on PlayStation most likely and gotten a lot of success every time.
What in the...
But I saw some people that did mess up the dodge show anyway, but however, I do think it's just the frame rate. The frame rate's what causes enemies. Just I'm pretty sure in the Resident Evil 2 remake, the frame rate's what causes enemies to get very aggressive on lower frame rates.
Are you okay, Mark?
The lower frame rates really, pretty much, in my opinion, I think it's just causes the enemy to get very aggressive. I doubt that it causes the enemy to get any aggressiver on higher frame rates. It's basically lower frame rates for my standards and what I got from it. So we're gonna put in Pisces, Scorpio, the Aries, and basically in that solution, we're gonna pick up the knife there. We're gonna go all the way over here, and we're going to push this here. You have to angle your camera angle in such a way, you have to tilt it basically. Do your best you can to tilt it. I did not use the strategy where you can get to the door faster. I just basically kill the female zombie later on when I come back for this area, because personally I just hate using that strategy, because if they all wake up, then that area is a haunting 1 street murder hall. And if that area comes into the murder hall, then that means when Mr. X shows up, it is going to be straight up a run ender, regardless if even if he doesn't pops up, because those guys are fucking frustrating to deal with. Personally, I hate them. So I aimed down there to get Leon to not stumble back, but stumble upwards. It's a little tight dodge and a little hard to the window to take, but it's sometimes you can mess up on it a little bit.
I'm surrounded by zombies.
We're gonna pick up the crank there, put it in slot 1. We're gonna pick up those handgun bullets if you like them or not.
Damn it.
Because we have to be stuck with the handgun bullets until we get to the science lab. Sometimes I wait before running out here because there's just normally just going to be the zombie that we first dodge around. He's just going to be in your way, and of course he's just going to be in one stupid dumb position where he's like in a 45 degrees like area. It's a hassle. Like, unless you could shoot him in his face quickly as possible, there's no telling where he's going to be. He could probably be right next to the door. Sometimes you'll have no choice to shoot him in his face or his legs to unlock them. On easy mode and easy and standard, zombies will take hit stun from the head, basically, on the first part of the RPD, and on easy mode, zombies have a higher chance of their legs coming off when you shoot them in their legs. On standard, they just have a high chance of being stunned by the handgun. Same with hardcore. But now we have to enter into the murder hall now. Murder hall 1. So that dodge is pretty easy to make. But this guy here, we have no choice to shoot him in his face. You know, I did realize he was in an okay position where I could just pass around him there, but I just didn't want to take my chances of getting grabbed there, because if you take damage as Leon, the beginning of Leon's damages that he takes is the beginning of the time loss, because he turns very slowly, and he also will turn slowly regardless, but however, it's the really beginning of him losing a lot of time, and it's an instant run killer. It's annoying whenever that happens. Unfortunately, the fat zombie was not in my way that time. If he's in your way, you know, sometimes you could just try to go right behind him sometimes, and try to take a good wide right behind him, or just make a run for it, basically, as you're hugging that double wall. Which, sometimes, he could still grab you that way. There's still multiple ways. He's just random. The fat zombie, the fat Jeremy looking zombie that was eating a chocolate bar by the launch bar machine thingy. So I had to pick up the med spray and the flash grenade so I can despawn the looker here. This dodge is kind of easy, but the dodge right here making towards the door is really a one-screen bullshit. It's okay if he does hit you, because there is still you still don't have to worry about it because Leon's not in close caution yet. But, however, we don't want him to be on caution at all for the working fight that's coming up. I had to discard the flash grenade, and no, I had to discard the knife and stuff like that, and discard the crank, because the reason why I did that is so I can discard the knife and stuff like that and get that out of my inventory as quickly as possible, because of doing that, it will basically just prevent that looker from doing a stupid grab where he can 180 grab me, and he'll put me on the floor, spin around 180 degrees. It's a dumb attack. I don't want to accidentally spam L1 on accident because of that bullshit attack. This looker's easy to dodge. Doesn't matter if he's jumped, just hug that side of the wall. You hug the side of the wall in Resident Evil 2 Remake, go, I don't know, go hollow into the wall or something, then the lookers, whenever you hug the wall, the lookers can miss you if you hug the walls, sometimes. This strategy works 50% of the time, but 90% of the time, the other 50% of the time, the lookers, that whenever you dodge them towards the wall, as long as it's not a one-street hallway, basically, they will not turn into most likely shamblers or something. I honestly don't know what causes lookers to miss you whenever that happens. It's pretty weird whenever it does happens, because they just straight up miss you out of nowhere, shockingly, unexpectedly, whenever you're just hugging the wall. Now we're going to basically go into the elevator here, press L1, press the D-pad after holding down L1 in the elevator, so we don't lose random time as we're doing it, right over here, and Leon doesn't pull his knife out. I should say Leon has a slow turning position. Leon's pretty terrible at turning, and the movement in this game is pretty wonky and clunky as shit. It's really bad, actually. Once you play it, it's more worse than Aries 0, basically, because there's no proper way to turn your character sometimes. I guess when you spin the camera angle, I guess, but it's honestly, it's a hassle. So, for Birkin, 30 FPS, we're going to go right behind him, basically, and we gotta pay attention where he's going to turn. If we are in his 95-degree position, then he is going to hit us. We have to stay 45 degrees right behind him, basically, and stuff like that in order to get him. And now, what we're going to do here, unfortunately at that time I got him to stop moving, basically, but we're going to use handgun bullets to stun lock him. And basically, once we get the handgun bullets to stun lock him, he will fall right back down, and we can continue on knifing him. This strategy is more helpful on easy mode, because, like, instead of on 20 FPS doing 16 slashes, you're still doing a little bit more slashes, but you're doing handgun bullets of the damage that you're trying to get him to take. It doesn't matter so much on damage, it just matters on hits on 20 FPS, but the damage does kind of matter, but the hits matters most likely a lot. So, most likely, sometimes he'll grab you if you don't move the second he starts moving. If he does, your dagger will be on the floor after the boss is, like, done. It'll be right on by the ladder on the floor. You can pick up that side pack out of the locker. You can get away on standard regardless on picking up side packs, by the way. So you can pick up side packs on standard a lot. There's like a lot of side packs. On easy mode, there's like side packs, basically. But on standard, you can get away with getting side packs if you need them, basically, for your inventory management. it's most likely recommended to pick them all up as you see them, because really, really, really it's going to be a little tough without the side packs. Unless you're good at your management of your inventory. But, we're gonna pick up the crank. I should say that the dogs in Resident Evil 2 Remake, comparing them to the HD remaster, Resident Evil HD remaster, they're slightly in the Resident Evil 2 Remake. They're in this version. They're not aggressive, and they weren't HD remaster, Resident Evil HD remaster. So they are slightly non-aggressive in this version like that, because they're not, well, they are, but they're not insanely aggressive to the point they will repeatedly grab you, spin around 180 degrees like they could do that in that game, and just cause you 5 seconds of loss. They can still do something familiar to that by tackling you down onto the ground and biting Leon in his neck, or grabbing Leon by his back and just biting him. It can happen most likely a lot sometimes, but it's different from Resident Evil 2 Remake with the dogs, because they are slightly non-aggressive than they were in HD Remaster, because now they're just basically in Resident Evil 2 Remake, they're now fast. They were fast in HD Remaster, but they're not faster than they were in HD Remaster. They're just like a little faster basically this time. And they can still have random moments where they can hit you randomly, and they can cause hit stun, just like the Lickers can. Sometimes this dog can hit you, basically, if you're slow. Well, it doesn't even matter if you're slow or not, it'll just straight up hit you. But as long as, to prevent dogs from tackling you down sometimes to the ground, or tackling you by your neck and stuff like that, the better thing to do, basically, is really try to do zigzags and stay away from them in their 90-degree angle of their face. Because if you do, then they will hit you. Which, right about here, this is like a risky dodge, because it's pretty random for 2 of the dogs on the 1 street hallway here to hit me. And by doing zigzags can confuse dogs' AIs. And if you're just running in a straight line, dogs will catch you over and fuck you over, basically. So just doing zigzags is the key to dodging around dogs, basically, in general. But you want to take, in speedrun, you don't want to take wiggly zags. You want to take, like, lower, slower zags, basically. Which kind of can cause a run ender a little bit, basically, I should say. But, however, you can still gain safeness from the dodge a little bit. This right here, the consistent way to get around these guys, basically, is I decided to get this guy to lunge at me and shoot this guy in his head when he pops out right on up. I was hoping for him to go into turbo mode in order to get him to run over there by the walls, but now he's, like, you know, in a ridiculous dumb position. I got lucky and decapitated him that time, and I was able to pass around him, basically. So, happily, that area now is not going to be... That area is now a murder hall once we come back through there. It was a murder hall in the first place, but now it's going to become a murder hall, basically. So, that guy, that lunge that happens there, it's pretty random, because zombies in this game, they can just start up turning into sinkers or shamblers, basically. It's hard to get them to lunge sometimes whenever that happens. They can read your button inputs, and they can randomly turn into a sinker and stuff like that. By I mean sinker, does that mean, I mean they're not lunging at you, they're trying to walk towards you and try to bait you, and to you're trying to get them to lunge, but they won't lunge, basically. So they're just basically fucking with you at that point. So there's not much to do about that sometimes. So we're gonna go up in here and pick up this crank here, and then we're going to leave. Just hug that side out. Basically do a quick turn, basically press B or circle, which is a very helpful thing. Sometimes do quick turns after cutscenes, basically to get to the next area quickly as possible. It does have a half-second loss, but it does help you get more aware of the places you're trying to get. I had to basically throw that dagger in that female zombie's face, basically, in order to get around her. And I got lucky on my way out here. basically, we're grabbing that green key, and we have 3 inventory slots open. So we grab the green key. That's the first inventory we need to put in the sol up in. Then we're gonna leave 2 inventory slots open, so you can pick up the grenade and the crank tool. I think that it would be best to skip the grenade, but I needed it for the zombies on the stairs and the sewers. The Mr. X dodge is a pain in the ass. Somebody tell me if you just stand still aiming at him, he will lunge, but you gotta pay attention to where he's going to be aiming at you. But, you know, that time it was random there because, you know, I dodged him the other side basically that time. And normally he's not supposed to just basically hit me because I have to go to the opposite side where he's going to throw his stupid Falcon Punch attack basically. I got unlucky and that happened. It really is dumb. It's a weird attack. The window towards it is half positionally closed, I guess. It's like looking at a falcon bird a little bit in the window, how it can look, I guess. It's pretty random. I honestly don't get it. I decided to pick up that green herb, basically, because I didn't want to use the med spray here too early, basically too on. I got unlucky. I was trying to shoot the liquor. If I do that, I'll prevent it from going on the ground, basically. But, of course, it fell on the ground, basically, there, and it did not cooperate with me that time, and it tried to jump at me. So we're gonna pick up the tool, put that in slot 1, pick up the grenade, and liquor left, and we gotta pay attention where the zombies going to be at when we come into the room. Sometimes it's just best to help that side of the wall, but now we have to pay attention where Mr. X is going to be at, because since he didn't pop up here, which we really want him to, it's really better to have him pop up here. Not here, but not by these stairs. It's better to have him pop up in an area where he's not crowding the library. It's better for him to be there than be anywhere than by the library, because if he's near the library, then we're fucked. The run ends there. Because we had to come back in here, and we had to wake up that zombie, go through that side, and then push these things 2 times, basically, in a row. I should have pushed these, like, 2 times earlier, but I kind of didn't realize that it would have been better to probably do that, because I thought it would probably save me time doing that, and save the rest of the trouble later. But Mr. X passes in the room, he got the zombie there, got him there, and, you know, climbing the ladder will cause that other zombie to wake up. If you get close to the other fat zombie, the fat and Jeremy looking zombie, he will wake up. But because, like, that, you can just run straight to the door. But because of that, Mr. X just pops up there, and he just blocks the way towards the library. If he's, like, close to the library, he's just close to the stairs, it's just the run ends. Sometimes Leon will not, once you try to pick that up, Leon sometimes will be far away from it. Sometimes it's just random a little bit whenever Leon approaches puzzles and he's trying to put things into the door or locking the door. Mr. X just straight up like blocked the whole area, of course, and the run just ends basically there if that happens. We can't just throw a flash grenade because I'm saving the flash grenades for important moments. 3 of them are for the jail cell, and the other one's for G2. I went for G2 strats with the flash grenade because it felt it better to just do that because I was pretty sick of resetting over G2.
Hope I don't have to write a report on this.
Aim down, pick it up, or else Leon's just gonna read the file instead. Sometimes that zombie's random when you come out of the room, he'll be standing at you. Had to shoot that guy in the face because he's in an awkward position, 45-degree bullshit. We had to shoot him, get him out of our way. I guess Mr. X is like a little bit nearby. I got lucky and got a good pattern that time with Mr. X. Be careful, if you're playing on easy mode, be a little careful of relying, the game tells you that auto aim is available on easy mode. I didn't went for easy mode because of auto aim, because I could still play this without auto aim. But I thought because this is, you know, if I'm going to speedrunning this game, I can just try to use this trick in the game, you know, to try to help me out a little bit. The auto aim of this game is a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. It's horrible. It's terribly made. I don't like the auto aim in this game. It was just better. It's not better to rely on auto aim. Of course, I got unlucky, and Aaliyah decided to be a dick here and grab me, causing all the other zombies from catching up towards me, and this zombie to catch up to me. There's certain patterns you can get in this hallway that is extremely RNG. because this could just straight up be the run ender because all of them will just be crowding up here. They'll just all be crowding up here in this whole one street area, and just the more damage you'll take, is the more likely you're not gonna get the fuck out of there, basically. But the dodges we have to get with dogs are pretty random. But you know, sometimes the other dog right here will the dog by the right will get you, and sometimes the dog by the left will get you if you decide to DBS a little bit. But for some weird reason, dogs can hit you, or zombies can hit you, or lickers can hit you through the door once you get through it. That was pretty bullshit. I was not mad too terribly much when that happened, because it was kind of expected to happen, of course, because he was close towards the door, so I actually had a feeling that I was going to get grabbed there. But I managed to make it out anyway. We're gonna equip the flash grenade after the cutscene here, because this is where the flash grenade is useful for. But yeah, that murder hall is just a pain in the ass to deal with. You really gotta be careful a little bit about your areas in the hallway. They're all rooted up together, or they're rooted up together by the stairs. It's basically the run. The run just straight up ends there. It's a high chance of it ending. You can't rely on defense items like that. It's not worth it. We could pick.
What are they after?
We're gonna pick up the key card first, and then pick up the med spray. Now we're going to throw the flash grenade here. And then we're going to get Mr. X to pop on up.
Give me a break.
Then we're going to back on up a little bit. Gotta be careful, because sometimes Mr. X will hit you, basically, while he's being stung by the flash grenade. Gotta be careful and try not to get grabbed, basically, as we're triggering Mr. X, because there's sometimes, there's that one, there's going to be that one zombie that doesn't get stunned. So, for Leon's scenario, Leon, as much as Leon has certain moments where his scenario might not be impossible because he has less cutscenes, and he has like a lot of less cutscenes because he's very isolated, basically, in his playthroughs. So basically, that means that you can get away a little bit about playing as Leon a little bit because he doesn't have so much.
Exactly are you looking for?
He doesn't have so much cutscenes just wappling around the whole area of his playthrough a lot. So you can just get some things done quickly as possible. But however, instead of like skipping cutscenes, instead of being forced to doing cutscenes a lot. But the thing here is, there's a lot of gameplay into Leon's scenario. Leon has like a lot of gameplay into his scenario, which he has certain patterns, which is pretty dangerous patterns, I will say. He has a lot of risky patterns. He has the good patterns, he has the bad patterns. He has a lot of bad patterns, I would just say that straight up. He just has a lot of bad patterns. Leon's patterns are pretty random and unpredictable to get. And they're very confusing and very dumb and annoying sometimes to deal with it, because he deals with Mr. X all the time in his scenario. It's pretty annoying a lot because his scenarios are pretty crazy dealing with Mr. X, because you might think that he deals with lickers less, but he deals with all enemies a lot. Claire deals with less enemies less, but he deals with enemies more. It's pretty basically run killer, especially in the B scenarios. You probably noticed I did not pick up the shotgun. That's because, like I said, we're using the handgun for the rest of the run until we get to the science lab.
Without the authorities knowing?
So the handgun obviously is not going to be amazing weapon for a boss, obviously.
Jesus. That an earthquake?
Just that one boss that we had to get hits done out of. That's what we used for. I went on ahead and basically decided to put the key away, basically. And I forgot to put the flash grenade away on accident for G2. So I accidentally had to go and visit the audio box again because my dumbass forgot to do that.
Again?
I was just thinking out of my ass quickly as possible whenever I go into the item box sometimes. I try to visit the item box a lot less as best as I can, basically, for my run. It's pretty random, a little bit, but it's pretty insane. But be careful when you play Resident Evil 2 Remake with with a controller, whatever controller you're using for Resident Evil 2, it's recommended to play this game definitely with a good controller, with the best controller you can use. Because if you're not playing with this with the best controller, there's most likely a lot of chances that you will lose your run as quickly as possible. Because just it's impossible to play this game simply normally sometimes. Because you have more moments where you can lose your run.
You overgrown son of a bitch.
You need a better controller to play this because it's just straight up recommended. Of course, yeah, that's the recommended thing, but this game requires a lot of fancy footwork, obviously, and requires a lot of RNG moments, being a risk and reward game, but most likely just more different than any other Resident Evil game. Sometimes you could just clip around her, basically.
You said the virus turned people into monsters, not reptiles.
Even though it doesn't matter, because she's not gonna run faster towards the area here. Recommended keeping your camera angle not in this position to get Ada to turn on the elevator, because otherwise she's just not gonna turn on the elevator, basically. So yeah. So it's just recommended to play with a good PlayStation controller, because toggle in this game is the lifesaver, or other controls used to run in this game is a lifesaver, because you're not using a good controller with good toggle or good anything like that, then the controls it's just gonna be straight up bad. A lot of people do recommend not to play with toggle. I just play my games with toggle because it's just what I do, basically. I always play toggle growing up with my games.
You can run, Annette, but you can't hide.
It's because the controls are just so clunky and wobbly a little bit. It's pretty easy to just fuck right on up and bump into a wall, or run into a wall, or have Leon accidentally stop randomly as you're turning a corner. It's pretty bad when you're speedrunning the game. I guess it can't be a problem to other people that play this, that just play it normally, of course. But it's a problem for speedrunning, because it can just straight up get in your way, and it's unpredictable things that's not even the player's fault. If there was an HD remaster release for this game in the future, probably in 2 years, probably like in 6 years or so, I definitely would work on the controls of this game. Straight up work on the controls, for sure. I think the consistent way to getting around the zombie is just by going this way, because he's just in an awkward position. I don't know if it's possible to just pass around him the other way. But, I just took that way because I thought it would be better, because it's better to just pass around him that way, because he is in an awkward position, and if I tried to run past him, he would just grab me. So yeah, the audio aim for the game guns are very terrible. Claire's auto aim for her guns work wellly a little bit, but not too terribly wellly. Leon's guns and basically Ada's guns, they just are very wobbly, and Ada has a very high chance, just as Leon, to just fuck over with her guns the way their guns work. In order to get their guns to sometimes work, you need to upgrade for their gun, which takes forever. All the upgrades for Leon's guns takes forever to get, basically, such as, of course, the custom Magnum and all the other stuff, especially the shotgun. All the other guns take forever to grab. And, it's like, it's a hassle. Unless you're, lucky in a position to grab it, I guess, and it's straight up gonna take more than, 18 minutes to grab the other guns that Leon has. And it's gonna take you, 13 just minutes or something like that to grab any other upgrades or any other stuff. It's just straight up not recommended to grab Leon's guns. Sometimes it goes for Claire a little bit, but, Claire's guns, unfortunately, Claire's guns don't take forever to get sometimes. She does have a lot of choices for guns, basically.
Gonna burn you alive now. You'll never get your filthy hands on the G.
Her guns, you might think that they're bad options of fighting zombies, that's only if you're going for a little bit of safe, but if you're going for a hit stun on zombies, then Claire's guns are recommended to use, because Claire's guns causes a lot of hit stun. Her handgun, her standard handgun causes hit stun a lot. Regardless if it's hardcore or not, it just can straight up do a lot of hit stun.
She's doing.
Visitor clearance confirmed. Your ID is authorized until October 1st. Please return before this date.
Not gonna happen.
You can see me kind of aiming each corner I go to a little bit. Somebody showed me that as I was learning how to do Leon A speedruns. I would link a video, basically, a little bit if you do want to try out a little bit of speedrunning this game for the first time. But, basically, Leon's, you know, I should have just took that flash grenade with me at that point. Fuck it. It would have been better to take that flash grenade with me at that point for the whole sewers.
That's a pleasant smell.
But, I'll link a video of a speedrunner that holds, the world records, some of the world records for this game, in the description box below. Well, actually not description box, I'll just link it in the comment section below, pinned comment. But, he holds, like, one of the world records, basically, in this game. Well, he runs a lot of the world records in this game. And he showed me how to speedrun this game by watching one of his video of how to do it. But there's a lot of tricky things about Leon's dodges, and Leon has a whole time high chance of getting grabbed because his hitbox is extremely high and stuff like that. And it's pretty easy to get grabbed as Leon, and dodging as Leon is pretty terrible. You do not ever want to dodge as playing as Leon. It's never recommended. It's pretty bad dodging as Leon. Because the Leon dodges are pretty open widely, and he has a pretty much low HP and stuff like that. And also there was a rock on that Jimin's body. I went on ahead and picked up the dagger right there on the bench for this particular part. Which, I should have never picked that up. I should have just used the second knife I had in my inventory. It would have been better to use that. But, yeah, I went on ahead and used that strategy basically there because I thought it would be better.
Interesting.
Because I was sick of the Haunting Super session is a straight up annoying, dumb session here of the game. It's pretty frustrating when you get used to playing it multiple times. Regardless if your playthroughs are speedruns or just regular playthroughs, it's actually one of the most annoying, dumb sessions of the game that are very not fun. Personally, I just prefer this basically. Personally, I just prefer the Science Lab session and the Hohenstein RPD session than Leon's sewer session and Claire's sewer session, because all these sewer sessions are pretty frustrating to deal with because they're not really interesting at all, because they cause us a lot of bullshit in their parts of their just runs basically. I fucked up on trying to put that in slot 1 there, but this is like the part here where it does get frustrating because you have a high chance of getting tagged down by the Asian zombie on the stairs. And the fact Jeremy zombie likes to go near the stairs a lot, once come back through here, they won't go into the water sometimes, which will happen. They will not go into the water. Alright. So they won't go into the water sometimes, which you do want them to sometimes do, which you don't want them to sometimes do, but you do want them to go into the water. You just straight up want them to go into the water because they will basically just straight up not, if they don't go into the water, they'll just straight up basically become dickheads and decide to be like, oh well, I'm just going to straight up decide to you know, just straight up block your way basically and stuff like that on the stair steps later on. And if you get grabbed by zombies on the stair steps, then obviously you're going to be pinned down to the ground and you're not going to be able to use a defense item. You can't use a defense item on the stairs. It's basically a weird bug. So we have to approach the position very quickly, carefully. Sometimes the bald-headed zombie will be blocking near that side there. Pick up the shotgun shells here. I fortunately found out there was no reason to pick up those shotgun shells, basically. That G mutant is easy to pass around. He's not in an awkward position, basically. So it was easy to pass around him. We have to approach a position of picking up that road plug, because if we do not approach a good position, then we will definitely for sure get grabbed. Basically right about here, we have to leave 4 inventory slots open. So as you can see, like my inventory, I was like a little shocked basically, and I realized I should have definitely for sure got rid of that dagger immediately as I had the chance. I should have never really picked that up. We have to leave 4 inventory slots open for this next part, really. The quick turning is not really convincing so much if it saves time, because the way it works is like it's random, and it has to work very consistently to work.
Oh my god, this is getting worse.
I honestly agree. I'm not convinced by it too much, but it does, I guess, help on certain enemy encounters. I almost got grabbed there, but I got a okay pattern getting through this area. Basically, I hooked that side, the right side there, to get around that G mutant there. I got a decent pattern a little bit there at that time. Unfortunately, that time that G mutant didn't cause me any harm. Well, actually, never mind, because I got rid of the handgun clips basically in the handgun basically on the right side of that. So I did fill up a little. So I did save a little bit of inventory space basically here. So I guess I did make the right decision, which was pretty risky. All we're gonna need is basically up to this point is just handgun bullets for this zombie here. Sometimes he'll be falling on the ground and he'll break his leg, which, well, technically he won't actually break his leg, he'll just be falling on the ground trying to recover from his leg, basically, because he's wounded now, because he fell all the way down there. That will happen to zombies. But, if that happens, if something better happens, basically he's just trying to get up, go right behind his back, basically as he's getting up, and it can't be the animation where he's about to walk, basically with his right leg, and he puts his right leg out, and then he puts his left leg out. Zombies always start off with their right legs, basically, when they're trying to about to get ready to attack or something like that. Or they're recovering from a hit stun, or they're recovering from whatever, basically. They're just doing that instead. Had to equip that dagger there for that zombie though anyway, because I didn't want him to grab me. But basically, just if that happens, just, you know, hug the side of his back. Well, not hug the side of his back, hug the side of the wall that is like right behind his back, basically. So the bad pattern coming out, basically, unfortunately this time I still got unlucky, basically passing on the speed, because he's in an awkward, dumb position, of course. And I honestly almost screwed it up getting robbed and almost died and lose the run there. Well, not died, but lose the run in general there, because I would just pause the game and reset that part there. Basically that part. Yeah, the bad pattern is if he's blocking the way there, basically, which they all have a high chance of all doing. They all will crowd up sometimes, and they'll all block the way together, basically, which they all have a high chance of once again doing. They just, yeah, that the run ends, basically, that happens, and the edge pull that you just saw me climb on there, sometimes there'll be random G mutant there. That's the hugest bad RNG that you can get there, is that RNG, basically. If that happens, your run is destroyed, it's gone, because they're, like, in a dumb, I hate G mutants in this game. They're, like, in weird, awkward, dumb positions, and their awkward one dumb positions are really annoying, because they're just blocking the way, because their big-ass body is their slippery body. It's just straight up blocking the way, getting in your way, causing you to not pass around them ever again after that. Which causes pretty much huge problems when you're trying to dodge them, honestly. And it really affects, basically, the player too much of what character they're playing as, because it just does that, basically, just to ruin the run, basically. Because they're just too big, they're too hard to pass around at that point, because there's no possible consistent way to pass around them. They're blocking the whole entire way. Because, like, imagine there was a G immune by that door there, and they were just blocking the way. You know, the grenade strategy, which you won't back up too much once you use a grenade, will help out, but it won't help out on a certain distance, basically, or something like that. I should have just put that green herb away. I didn't think I needed that, basically. I guess yeah, I played as fast and loose last night, but however, I was trying to see if it was worth picking up that green herb, because that was I was pretty much trying to get that to be my last time visiting the item box for the rest of the run. But if you save your grenades here for this Birkin boss here, you can use it basically. So we're gonna go on ahead and hit all the way over here, throw the grenade on the ground basically after you trigger him, and his restagger will restart. You gotta sit by this position so before his claw pops in, you know, we can just get him that way. We're gonna just make a run for it here, basically. And he's screaming, charging. He bumped into the wall that time. Thank God he didn't follow us this way. Because if he did, we'll pretty much be screwed. Pull the button here. Pick up the flash grenade. Pick up the knife at that point, whatever. Basically. Flip to the knife. Burn him. And we're gonna melt his ass, and once he's like falling, we're going to knife him. So this works regardless on whatever frame rate, it works on 30 FPS. So you gotta angle yourself in such a good angle to knife his whole body off. It's just gotta be a great angle, basically, in order to get him. And you gotta pay attention to his eyeball. If his eyeball is turning red, you gotta angle Leon sometimes in a good position, and yeah. Yeah, basically, whenever, you gotta angle Leon in a good position, and whenever he's, like, basically, when he gets back on up, start making a run for it, and hit all the way over here, and basically, we have to just wait for him to die, basically. Our knife should be gone at that point, and we gotta pray. We have to basically pray after all that, until his eyeball turns a little slightly red, basically, there. We have to pray, and I mean pray, that he fucking dies after that. And he does, and also that he fucking will get knocked over instead of him getting right on up and charging towards us. Which has happened to me like 300 times in the role, and yeah, it's a hassle. It happens a lot, because he would just straight up be a dick and decide to be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna get up and scream to death, and I'm gonna charge at you, la 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 la, and stuff like that, and do that stupid song and dance and charge attack he does, and stuff like that. It's a hassle. You gotta hope. The flash, that's why the flash grenade is just there for, just to stun lock him, basically, with 2 flash grenades, so reset his stagger instead of me getting thrown in pieces, just slashed into pieces and stuff like that, and stuff. Sometimes Ada will block her way here, gotta beat her to the punch. Ada would just really be an asshole and block her way, so. We don't need any handgun bullets in the science lab unless you need it for Mr. X boss battle. I realized that after this run, I didn't need to pick up those shotgun shells, because we're about to get more shotgun shells right up here up to this point. We're about to get more shotgun shells. So it's pretty stupid to take that item with me.
For your safety, stand clear until the doors are fully open. For your safety, stand clear until the doors are fully open. For your safety, stand
How to get rid of that green earth quickly, early.
Enjoy your visit.
So, if you manage to save your other grenade, you can just use it for a super tyrant. Not picking up those other flamethrower rounds, because, you know, can't afford that. Which would basically be down to, up to this point, 60 flamethrower rounds for G4, I mean G3 or something like that. For the Jeremy looking zombie here, what we do for him is a little different. I messed up on picking up that dagger there, I realized that I did not need that dagger hardly at all, basically, because I need to free up 2 inventory slots open, basically. Of course, somebody's calling me here, just randomly decided to call me out of nowhere, basically. So, if you hear that, just try to ignore it a little bit. So, pick up the dagger. I mean, we get rid of the broken dagger. Basically, pick up the items up in that room. Pick up the upgraded flamethrower, because I did fail a little bit on G4, not picking up that item.
Your presence is urgently requested.
The shotgun is here in the science lab here. We're gonna pick that up.
In the east area.
And now we're kind of actually forced to leave, like, we're forced basically to leave an inventory slot open, basically, for the, because of the watch key that Ada gave us, which she should have just gave us the other item, basically, that she was using during her session of the game, but which, you know, she was just being an asshole there. She's pretty useless in Resident Evil 2 Remake. In the original game, Ada used to heal you up to a certain point of the game, which is helpful in the speedrun, which helps you get an S rank quicker, but because like she'll heal you up to 4,400 HP, but in this game she doesn't give you a healing agent, she just gives you a watch key and just lets you keep going, basically, and just hopes you can get to the next area on your own, basically. Now we're gonna hit through here, basically. Most likely gotta make sure we're ready, basically, for this part here, because it's pretty RNG. So, yeah, you get the shotgun in the science lab, obviously, which is pretty helpful to get the shotgun in the science lab, basically, because the shotgun is extremely helpful for the science lab session, just extremely, and I mean extremely helpful, because we needed something for our boss battles as Leon. So we're going to, we do have to leave, like, another inventory slot open, but 2 inventory slots open, basically, for the science lab session here. So, you know, basically right about here, I'm going to be forced to get rid of that med spray there a lot early, as I thought I wasn't going to need to get rid of it that early, but because, like, just because I didn't take damage on G2, basically, that's what happened. I managed to take no damage there, which was unexpected, but I will have to be forced to use that med spray there. Yeah, this was pretty bad, I know. It was pretty bad because I was really filling up daggers and med sprays in my inventory and causing backtracking to happen there. And I had to bait quickly as possible on getting rid of items quickly as possible. This puzzle is frustrating to do. The solution to this puzzle is, like, red, green, blue on the A scenario. So red, green, blue. So the group motherfucker here, just shoot him. If you do not shoot him and he grabs you, group motherfuckers can one-shot you if you do not have a defense item, so be aware. Try not to get grabbed by them, ever. So there's some more shotgun shells here. And we're going to go on ahead and decapitate these zombies here. I know you might be thinking, oh, well, that's a lot of shotgun shells you're wasting. Don't you need it for your bosses? Well, I'm already packed up a little bit for, G2 and Mr. X. Basically, I was a little confused why I picked up those shotgun shells in the area, basically in the RPD and the area where I needed in the science and in the sewers, which I wasn't gonna need that item hardly at all, basically. So yeah, I had to get rid of that out of my inventory. So, you know, just shooting all these zombies, basically get them all out of our way quickly as possible with the shotgun. The shotgun has horrible recovery rate, so be aware about that. Fortunately, that means if we get rid of that med spray, that means we have to pray that we don't take damage by the lickers here. But if you aim down at your camera angle, the lickers will not lick you. Which, of course, the licker decided to hit me there. Basically, unfortunately, he didn't jump right in front of me, causing me to not put the modulator in, so I can put it in and get out of there. But basically you just gotta get out of here quickly as possible, because you know they're all crowding up here and they're all about to climb the ladder and stuff like that. Which really pisses me off there. If you turn your camera angle at Lickers, basically, if you turn your camera angle at Lickers and you're looking directly at them, they will straight up decide to basically be assholes and lick you. So try not to turn your camera angle at Lickers, of course. Just taking damage by those assholes causes a problem for G3 and also like that. So basically G3, we have to do our best to not take any damage on G3 at that point if we take damage there, but unfortunately I tried not to heal myself until I get out of here, basically, so I didn't waste the another healing agent. You have a high chance if you aim your camera and go down sometimes that you have a high chance if you aim your camera and go very like down to the ground, basically. If you aim your camera and go down to the ground, that means the that means basically that that if you aim your camera and go down to the ground, basically that really means that that the Lickers can do that stupid grab where they jump in front of you and spin you around 180 degrees and basically fuck your shit over. Yeah, you could use a defense item, but because of the group motherfuckers, I really prefer to save my defense items for the groups. Which I get that it is not worth it, but it's a hassle. But I knifed the group motherfucker on the ground by knifing his bubbles, basically in order to reset his stagger. By resetting his stagger, I was able to just get him out of the way once, like, so he can like not get up in 2 minutes. Of course, I got grab 180 degrees here, which the group motherfuckers have a high chance of doing, of course, here. I decided to see if I can go for that dodge because yesterday I got the dodge basically. With the groups, I magically dodged him towards the right there, which worked that time, but it didn't work this time, of course, because he was in a weird position, which they're always going to be in a weird position. They're always the fucking aggressive, dumb Groots that just does stupid Groot stuff. There's nothing you can do about it, basically, whenever they grab you sometimes, basically, because they just have a huge chance of lunging at you. I hate the fact that Lickers and the Groots can go OD in whatever difficulty you play on. Groots can go OD regardless if you like it or not. They'll just basically just lunge at you. And whenever they lunge at you, okay. So, whenever they, like, lunge at you, they're basically, in the state of their animations, whenever they, like, lunge at you, basically. I fucked up on this puzzle. Trying to figure it out. Basically, I wasn't paying attention. It was OSS. Basically, I thought it was Murph again. But I actually got to start practicing more for this puzzle here because I honestly didn't do too much practicing for that puzzle there. The other ones I do have them down a little bit, but some of them just not really. I gotta do a little bit more doing the puzzles. But because I got this run randomly, I decided to just do that basically instead. So I just go on ahead and post this. But basically, right about here, we're gonna pick up the yellow gunpowder, you know, and just pick up the serum here, and we're gonna go grab the high-grade gunpowder and make some shotgun shells. So yeah, got more shotgun shells here. We're forced to leave another inventory slot open for this boss here, so yeah, be aware about that. So, for G3, G3 is pretty random, of course. With the shotgun is not the best gun to DPS G3, because the stupid eyeballs are fucking hard as shit to even attempt to get, because they're all in dumb positions where he can just fuck you over. And the best way to kill him, well, which, unfortunately I got lucky that time and managed to knock him down that easily like that, but, basically, once we finally knock down these eyeballs, we're gonna back on up, but not back up too up, basically, because we want the map to fade in still. And then when he gets back on up, we're going to just basically... We're going to run all the way over here, and we're going to pick up the flamethrower rounds here. And now he's in phase 3, basically, randomly. He turned into phase 3 that quickly, actually, which really shocked me there. So, I decided to keep burning him quickly as possible, because I was trying to pick up the other flamethrower rounds, because I was trying to go all the way over there just to pick up the flamethrower rounds. You gotta stand right over here in this position, so he doesn't get us. And he should really be down, and he should really be dead at that point. Basically, once we're done here, that's what the upgrade, like I said, was for, with the flamethrower, to kill him more faster. It just does a better job. So my ear was itching during that fight. I was trying to itch it a little bit, but didn't want to mess up in a fight. I kind of fucked up a little bit explaining, but however, you can get him on phase 3 quickly as possible on phase 2. But there is still a mess over with time loss, basically, if that sometimes when that happens. It's pretty easy to fuck up over G3, basically. Now we're gonna go in the elevator here. Sometimes the way you approach the elevator will not close. Sometimes it will sometimes not close, basically, whenever that happens. It's pretty annoying and random. The same thing, you have to approach the elevator and angle your camera and go into the elevator in a way where the elevator will close if Leon does not have the decision to close it, which is pretty annoying. The same thing could happen in Resident Evil 7, basically. We need 18 shotgun shells for for Mr. X. We need 8 shotgun shells, basically, for him. So I'm trying to free up inventory space by doing that. Basically by lowering those instances there, which I kind of fucked up a little bit, now realizing it, because by doing that, I realized a little bit that I should have saved one more shotgun shell for the groups, one of the groups here. For the other group here, just shoot there and he will turn around towards the back. Sometimes he will not turn around, basically, and he'll just be straight up a dick. But it was hard to tell if he turned around there, basically. That was pretty shocking there. I actually got around him that way. Wow. That was pretty impressive. I actually managed to dodge him that time. Okay, that's random. Yeah, the grids are random, basically. I guess their wake-up positions are different. Alright, for the other Mr. X dodge, pay attention where he's going to go. And of course, his stupid arm got me anywhere and he punched me all the way down, basically being a dick. At that point, I'm probably going to use strategy later, just using... I personally just hate the Mr. X dodges. I'm not good at dodging him, but he's pretty an asshole. We might have to be forced to use the med spray pretty early during this boss here. During the first phases. You can pick up those handgun bullets there to get him down basically quicker. Basically, well, during the boss, basically, I should say. Anyhow, 8 shotgun shells. The problem with this boss here is that even though it looks like a big boss to fight him in, and you get more area and space, but because of how ridiculously annoying he is during this boss, and his stupid hitbox is extremely large. You can see right there, I almost lost the run if I didn't heal myself there. So, he causes a lot of damage during this fight, and he also is just straight up a dickhead because he likes to crouch you a lot during this fight. Because for a boss that looks like it's a big area to fight him in, that you could just probably dodge him a little bit during this part of the boss, but because of how annoying he fucking is as shit during this boss, because his hitbox is extremely wide and he has huge chances of hitting you, it's honestly a hassle, honestly. I was trying to get him to break down that rock there, but of course, that didn't work. He unfortunately missed that time. Always dodging towards the right. Now he's in phase 2. Always dodging towards the right when he does his jump attack. It's like, his hitbox is just extremely large, basically, to do. I got into panic mode, basically, if I didn't throw the grenade quickly as possible. I forgot to press L1 during the fight. So always dodging towards the right. If he's dodging around a rock, then the rock is going to just basically, it's gonna clip through. The rock's gonna clip through, and you're going to pretty much get hit because he can't clip through the rock basically by the polygons in the rock. He can't clip through it. That doesn't cause damage, so don't worry about healing yourself there. It only causes damage when you see the screen basically going red. Trying to put the flash grenades basically here. So for the last grenade, basically, I fucked up. Aim on accident, but I aim on accident. I was supposed to press L1, basically. But anywho, he's fucking dead. He's out of the equation, and that right there is going to do for Leon's. This is gonna do for Leon's scenario here. Basically, this was Leon's A. This was Resident Evil 2 Remake, Leon's A scenario on easy mode, basically. This was done in 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Gotta get out of here.
1 hour and 5 minutes and 5 seconds.
I actually miss her.
Leon?
Hey. We made it.
Just like I said we would.
So that's going to do it for here, basically. Make sure you I mean, there's not much to talk about, but this was like, yeah, done basically in that time frame, basically. Basically just like, I'm pretty shocked how I finally got it right in this category. I don't think I'm ever gonna get a category just like this ever again, basically. But in like lower 5 minutes. My goal is sometimes to get it down in 5 minutes sometimes, and 6 minutes sometimes in that frame sometimes, but I try to get this goal down to 5 minutes. I don't know if I might get the category to go again. I don't know what percent this is. I think this is like kind of, I think this is like around 60%, I think, or something like that, this run here. Or it was pretty much 80, not 80, 70%. The soundtrack is slamming. You cannot tell me this sounds like a Disney soundtrack. But, yeah, basically, yeah, hope you enjoy, hope you like and comment and share and subscribe, basically, and I will see you all, basically, next time, basically. This. You could follow me on, if you want, you could follow me on my socials, I guess. I'll try to link the puzzle solutions to this game. I do have a Twitter where I am planning on linking the puzzle solutions, which I don't use my Twitter like that, but I use it for puzzle solutions, in case for games, for people to learn a little bit. So I'll try to link that in the comment section below when I get the chance. And Also, you can follow me on Snapchat if you like, if you want. I do have a Snapchat where me and my friends hang out on there. Basically, it's basically our safe zone from other socials like YouTube and stuff like that. Basically, our comfortable, safe place where we have fun. Basically, just, yeah, stuff like that. Just check us out there, basically, if you like. Yeah. So really, that's about it. I'll just link it in the comment section below. So yeah, pin comment.
Resident Evil 2.